Hi everyone, welcome to the Positivity Knitting Podcast. My name is Nicole, and it's always a wonderful thing for me to be able to sit down and put my feet up on my chair and talk to you guys about the things that I have been knitting and crocheting and have you listen and respond. Like, that is so cool. So, first of all, I want to say excuse the voice because since I last podcasted, I managed to have a birthday. I turned 39 on the 24th of February, and all of my friends who are super close to me or Instagram close to me, Insta close, and some of those who aren't, they know that I take the whole month of February to celebrate my birthday. I just decided in my head that that's was going to be the way that it was going to be, and it happens. So I have been celebrating all month, every week. I managed to treat myself to something. My husband got me things, my boys got me things, and on the weekend prior to my birthday, my sister gave me a birthday party, which I can't not participate in throwing a party of any kind, even if it's for me. Even though she wanted me to sit back and do nada, I was like, I'm helping. So the theme for the birthday party was do-rags and damask, because that sums up who I am. I am a lady. I like to think of myself as a lady, but I am also kind of hood. Yeah, not even kind of. I am. So I think that I am, after 39 years in this body, I have managed to blend the best of both those worlds. And it really was amazing how great the party looked when both those themes came together. It was so cool. So my contribution to the party was to make the tablecloth out of red do-rags that I purchased from Walmart for $1 a rag, and I used like 16 of them, and it just came out great. And I left it down at my sister's house because what I wanted to do is bring it home and quilt it and have it as my first quilt. But I left it down here. I don't know when I'm going to get back to pick it up and if I get it back at all, because my family members will go and they will claim it. So the point is that the birthday party was a girls' party. We got together, all my friends down below, and we talked. And when there's talking, there's discussion. Discussions get loud, music loud, dancing's fun. I mean, it's not a party unless we dance. So if you follow me on Instagram, I think you only saw one picture, but we partied all day, all night. We didn't go to sleep till like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was back up at 5. I was home by, I want to say noon, and then I had to get up and I had another party, or a birthday dinner with a couple that's close friends of ours. That was a surprise to me. So I went down there. I didn't go down there. I went to dinner, and that was a long night. So I managed to lose my voice. And I'm texting my friends that I can't party like I'm 20 when I'm pushing 40. But it was a great birthday. So I want to thank everybody for all the beautiful, wonderful birthday wishes, the patterns, the everything, just everything. So, and for putting up with me for the month, because it was quite a month. So this is why my voice is, and I sound better. Like 3 days ago, it was just not even happening for my voice. I annoyed myself. I can't annoy myself now, but I hope I don't annoy you too much to listen. Okay. So I have, during all this birthday madness and all this stuff, I have not managed to get a ton of knitting done, but I did get a lot of crocheting done. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been knitting first, and then I'm going to move into the crocheting. As far as what I've been sewing, because I have been sewing, the picture, I will put a picture of the tablecloth that I made. I'll put a picture of it at the very end of the podcast, and if you go to the show notes, either in the group or also on the Positivity Knitting Podcast blog, I will link to you where I got the idea from. One of them was from Pinterest, but Martha Stewart also has a very good tutorial on her site. God, I love the Martha Stewart. Okay, so while I was hanging out with my husband and driving and stuff, I managed to knit a couple of rows on my Color Affection. The Color Affection is I think it's a $6 pattern by Vera Valimaki. It is available for download on Ravelry. If you aren't on Ravelry, you should be. And if you are on Ravelry and you're not in the Positive Knitting Podcast group, join. I like to hear from you guys, and I respond to everyone. At least I try to. If I don't, you guys send me a message and let me know that I'm ignoring you, because that's so rude and that is so not me. So I have been eyeing this pattern for the last 2 years, and I haven't been able to cast it on, but I finally cast on the project. I am making the Color Affection out of stash yarn, because this is the year of stash round or stash down. My stash down is really using the yarn that I have, but also if I purchase any yarn, I need to really make sure that it goes to enhancing the stash that I have. And I noticed, okay, you guys, can we stop right now and talk about me being in this loft? Okay, let me tell you guys. Okay, my husband, when he was out of work a couple of months ago, in order to help make ends meet and to make sure that the family was okay and to make extra money for little Christmas stuff, he started selling stuff on eBay. And it was first to help ends meet, and then it got to be this crazy kind of obsession. So much so that he commandeered my loft for his headquarters. That's why I haven't been podcasting up here, as opposed to, well, after the summer, because it was so hot, and the summer gets so hot up here. So he has like all his eBay crap stuff that didn't sell. I mean, after a while, even he didn't need to sell anything, but he was having the eBay Jones. I had never seen it. It was like he was like looking around the house for things to put on eBay. I had to like hide the children and the small animals. So now that he's really back, he's working, and his interests have shifted out to the garage and his woodworking, I am able to come back in, and take back over. I have been cleaning my loft and organizing. I mean, I only have yarn because the Y fell down. I am looking at all my gorgeous knitties, my bags that I haven't been looking at for the past couple of months, and I realized that I love these bags. I mean, they are just so lovely. And just when I look at them, I think that I have enough, but there's no way. There will be more added, because I love them and they're the best bags ever. So I'm cleaning. I'm in the process of cleaning and organizing and touching my stash, and getting to know it and reacquainted with it, and realizing that, like I said a couple of podcasts ago, that I really didn't have a well-rounded stash. I need solid color fingering weight yarn, solid color yarn anyway, so I can do color work and everything. So yeah, that's why I am up here. Okay, it's not beautiful yet. It will get back to being beautiful. As a matter of fact, it is a beautiful rainy day. Speaking of beautiful, it is a beautiful rainy day in California. We've needed the rain so bad because they were throwing around the D word as in drought. So we needed the rain, and today is a very rainy day. I don't have enough lighting because my boys managed to come up here and take the lighting that I use to light myself for the podcast. They use it for their tech decks and their nighttime stuff. So not that they need it, I don't know. Anyways, but the lighting's gone, but all that, it's a process, and we'll be coming back. But I just thought that if I didn't get up here now and do a podcast, that I would never get up here and do one. So yeah. Okay. So when I was going through my stash, and I'm doing this Color Affection because knitting's my bag. My friend Lois, she started hers, and I'm like, I'm in. So I picked up yarn. It really was a pain to pick yarn because I didn't have anything that would work, or so I thought, until I looked at my alpaca stash. And I have a lot of solid color alpaca, which is shocking to me. So I decided to use my alpaca stash. I am using some Jameson yarn that was given to me from my husband's friend Dan and his wife Leslie when they went on a trip to Australia. So they were nice enough to think of me and brought and bring me yarn. So I'm using that, and I'm also using some drops alpaca yarn, and it's sport weight, but I'm using it as fingering weight. I don't care. Alpaca, it feels thin enough, so I'm using that too because I have enough. To make the color affection, you need to know how to knit. Well, of course, to cast on, to knit, to make one left, to make one right. You're going to need to know how to bind off, and you're also going to need to know how to do short rows. I haven't came to the short rows yet because I am just on, I am increasing. So I think I'm on the second section. The stripe section. That's where I am. If you guys are interested in making a color affection, or you haven't and you've been intimidated by the short rows, I want to say start it and get up to the short rows. And while you're doing it, if you're interested, if you're like intimidated by the short rows, look at YouTube videos about short rows, or read books about short rows, or magazine articles. Go into groups on Ravelry and ask about how people do short rows. But for me, what helps me with short rows are YouTube tutorials. And while you're doing your regular, before you even get to it, watch people do it, read about it, and that way when you get there, you will feel more comfortable doing it. And while I'm talking about that, I remember that there is a wonderful short row tutorial, class on Craftsy, Craftsy. Join Craftsy. It is a completely free, my favorite price, you guys, free class, and you can watch that as much as you want forever. So that helps. Okay, so here is the Jameson yarn, and there are different color. It's pinky, I'm in a pink mode, you guys, right? I go through my periods, so this is a pink period for me. And of course, this is the Knitting's My Bag. I have like 3 projects in this bag, and I want to say this is the medium size bag. I have 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of socks, and my color affection with 2 different skeins of yarns. I have a whole lot of yarn in this bag, and I love this donut bag. It is super duper cute. I love it to death. I think she gave this to me for Christmas. It's the bestest bag ever. I love it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so for tips for making one left and make one right, my trick is when I have to make one right, I remember that I always say I'll be right back. So when I'm making one right, I pick up the stitch, the in between leg of a stitch from the back. So right back, left, or you pick it up from the front. Okay, so I have gotten, how many 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I'm on my ninth stripe out of 12. This thing is already wide. It's going to be huge. I am making this on a size 5. I think the pattern calls for a size 6. And I think this is my little marker just letting me know what is the right side. So here it is. And it's wide. Can you guys see how wide it is? The color affection, everyone says that it's very wide. It is. And also they say that the ending, the edge is tight, and it is to me too. But it really doesn't bother me too much because it's so wide. Like, wow. I like it. I am loving knitting with the different colors of alpaca. I have nothing bad. Well, no. The only thing that I have bad to say about this project is that now because it is so wide, because I have so many stitches, it's taking forever. A row is starting to take forever, and that is another common complaint that people have about the color affection. But it's still fun and it's easy, and for me, it is a very mindless knit, because I know that when I get to my left and right, when I get to the ends, I need to make one left or I need to make one right, and that works for me. So that's fine. That is all that I touch as far as knitting goes. I left my socks. I have been working on 2 socks earlier in the year, and I left them at my sister's house. When I went down, I was able to pick them up, but I have not knitted on them at all because I was too busy recuperating. And I was so busy working on the wedding present for my friend Hillary. She already knows it's her. So I was working on her wedding present. She's getting married in May. Hillary is the daughter of my girl Lois, and I'm excited. I picked a pattern for her, showed Lois. Lois approved, and I dove in head on into the pattern, right? So the pattern is the Tree of Love Afghan. It is available for download on Ravelry. It is $2.99, which is a great price for it. Is crochet, you guys, right? So crochet talk from here on out. I was excited to attempt bobbles because I needed to know how to make a bobble. And also when I got my yarn from Joann's, okay, I'm not going to get into too much detail about the yarn. But I got it from Joann's, and I called to see what color would be good for the bride. And she likes gray. So gray was it, right? So I had a certain idea of where I wanted it to be at this time in the year, and like I wanted to make progress through Ravelina Games. I don't know who I thought I was. I didn't think that, I'm me, I'm a mother, I have children, and now because I live so close to my first cousin's kids' school, they come over every day. So every day, once I have at least 2 to 3 extra kids daily. So that's a lot. Who have I become? So, and I want to make sure to interact with them too, like I would interact with my boys. So, a lot of my knitting time has been, not taken, but I choose to do other things with my knitting time. So, I didn't make a lot of progress on it during the Winter Olympics, right? Okay, fine. So I thought that, when I sit down and get ready to do it, I'm going to sit down and get ready to do it. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you have been seeing my progress with this blanket. I am crocheting this blanket with a size J hook, 6 millimeter hook. And this is a Clover Amour hook. I love these hooks to death. You guys don't even know how much I love these hooks. I cannot say enough good things about this hook. Now, the pattern is 16 pages long, and there are like 280 something rows, and that's including the border for this project. So I need to get into it if I want to get it done, right? So to make the Tree of Life Afghan, you need to know how to chain, you need to know how to single crochet, you need to know how to yarn over, and you need to know how to bobble. When you make a bobble in crochet, and these are bobbles, right? These dots are bobbles. When you make a bobble in crochet, all you're doing is yarning over and pulling through. Yarn over, stick in the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, that's it. So it's, like I said, like I'm angry about it. It's really, really simple. And I found myself, even though this is like, I call this blanket the bobble of death blanket. I had fun. I'm enjoying doing bobbles on a crochet project. I tried doing bobbles or noops. I think they're called noops. Bobbles on knitting is called noops, I think, right? But I tried to do noops in knitting. I can't stand it. But a bobble in crochet, I am all about it, right? Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to keep I'm using the computer for extra light because it's so hard to light chocolate. So I am on row 70, right? 70. I love it. I love this blanket. I love the project, but my husband also loves it. He is dying for it. He's like, this is beautiful. You're going to have to make it again. I will probably make another one next year if I had to. And the reason why I'm saying that if I had to is because I probably won't have to, because I had a bad thing happen to me. Funny thing happened to me in different lighting a couple of days ago. So let me show you how far I've gotten. So this is how far I've gotten. If you can see in the corner, can you see the heart in the corner? Isn't it so cute? I love it. I love how dense the fabric is. This is a worsted weight acrylic yarn. I think I spent a total of maybe, I want to say 30 bucks, less than 50 bucks on the yarn. I spent less than 50 bucks on the yarn. You need about, I can't remember the yardage, but it's a lot. It's a couple of thousand. It's probably like 2,000 yards. I will link it in the show note. So I did, and I started, I'll take the hook out. Well, it took itself out. But I'll see if I can get it all in there. So that's the base of the tree. There is another heart in the corner, and then there are baubles going all up the side, right? And I was going crazy. I was in it. I am on row 70. Yes, me, go me, right? So the other day when my cousins were over, my son needed extra help doing his homework. I couldn't do it downstairs. We went upstairs, and I had already joined. I'm on my third ball of yarn. I joined my third ball of yarn, and I went upstairs, and I was looking at it in the light, and the new ball of yarn is so different than the other two, and just completely different. And for this yarn, look, you guys, I got the same dye lots. And my husband, who is not even a knitter, but he knows that I'm crazy about that stuff, he was like, we did everything that we were supposed to do right. Like, I don't understand it. So, yes, it was the worst thing that could happen. And I was like, I'm almost done with the third skein, which is on the floor. Almost done, like halfway through it. I'm far enough into it that I'm not ripping out what I did. And I got so angry. I got so discouraged. I got so pissy about it that I wanted to have an adult temper tantrum. And at that moment, somebody tagged me on Instagram asking, what am I doing now? And I just put it on out there. And if you want to see the difference in a different light, like the big difference, you guys go to Instagram and look, because it really is like astounding. So I had to sit back, I had to take a moment and just try to find the positive. I couldn't. I had to try to find the positive in it and think about what I wanted to do. There was no way that I could give that as, first of all, even within the skeins of yarn, even within the one skein, the first skein, there are color variations that I did not see in the store. So that kind of threw me off. And because the third skein, which was already joined and worked for some rows and bobbled too, there was no way that I was taking it out. There was no way. So there was no way that I'm giving it to Hillary. There's also no way that I'm going to start another one with another color and be done. There's no way. I don't have it in me. I know me. I don't have it in me to start another one. It would just take all the fun out of it, right? What's a girl to do? You know, I had to sit back and collect myself and pray and meditate and put on some big girl undies and just find another project. Thankfully, I had a plan B in mind. Well, it was when I decided to make her crochet or something, it was a toss-up between two patterns, right? And this one went out first. So I decided to, go back to the drawing board and go back to my first choice, well, the other option, which is the Love Afghan, Love Afghan. And when my husband and I went to Joann's to look for yarn, we didn't see any yarn there. We went to Michael's and we found worsted weight yarn, and it's do I have it up here? Oh, I do. And I'm keeping it. And you guys, you know that when you get a wedding bag to put from the mother of the bride, to put the bride's gift in there, that you have to make something. You can't just give up and say, okay, I'm done. You got to have something to put in this bag, right? So my husband and I went to Michael's, which I never go to because I like the prices and the fact that I can totally use a ton of coupons at Joann's. So we went to Michael's and we found that the loops Threads Impeccable Yarn was on sale, okay? So for the Love Afghan, I need about 1700, well, more like 1800 yards of worsted weight yarn. That's what the project calls for, in 2 different colors, because this project does not have bobbles in it. It has what is called Tunisian crochet, which creates lettering, and it's going to have a word in it. And if I get to the word, I'll show it to you. If you guys are interested, I'll link to the Afghan in the show notes, right? So the yarn was on sale for $2.50 a ball, or 2 for $5, which was great. So I needed like 8. And we found 8 with the same dye lot and everything. And we even checked in the room with the light, with the colors, to make sure that everything was okay, because I was going to take the stuff back if it didn't match. I wasn't having it happen again. And on top of that, I just thought that with the color work that's going to be in here, even if there is a slight variation in the yarn, it wouldn't be so glaring in neutral color as it was, well, natural color as it was in gray, like, because that was ridiculous. So yes, I am using, like I said, the Loops and Thread Impeccable Yarn. There's approximately 268 yards in one skein. It is 100% acrylic because I want the bride to be able, the bride to be able to wash and dry, or just don't have to worry about it, especially when she gets kids. I don't want her to have to worry about the care of this blanket. I want them to be able to, or herself, or both of them, to be able to snuggle up in this blanket and just enjoy it and not have to worry about wash. So yeah, so this is what I got, and I started the project last night as soon as I came home, and I have gotten this far. To make, I'm making sure the hook's not, oh, there's the hook, you guys see the hook. To make the Love Afghan, it's just Love, I think it's the Love Afghan, you need to know how to chain and to half double crochet, and you also need to know how to do Tunisian crochet. Now, Tunisian crochet, is it Tunisian? No, tapestry. Did I yell at you guys? Sorry. Tapestry crochet. Yeah, tapestry crochet. Tapestry crochet is a color work, a way to get color into your crochet. So there are tons of YouTube tutorials. I have put a couple in the group under crafting in YouTube, because I think I like to share what I find and what I'm interested in. So I haven't made it to the part where I need to do color work yet, but I'm super excited about it because it just gives me a chance to do a different technique. It's not knitting, it's not bobble, yes, it's crochet, but it's color work, right? And I love the color work. So this is how wide it's going to be. Right. So you need to know how to chain, and you need to know how to half double crochet. Half double crochet. Now I can show you. I am making this with the size hook that's recommended, and that is a size K, which is a 6.5 millimeter. And I was seriously thinking about doing it with the J so it could be tighter, but I'm just going to trust the pattern. Everyone else has done it, and I'm going to just do what they say do. My tip for casting on in crochet is, I used to cast on very, very, very tightly, and which would bunch up my work. But when you chain initially, which is basically cast, you don't cast on, you chain. So when you chain, you need to chain very loosely. Some people go up a couple of hook sizes. I just make sure to chain loosely. And as far as starting your crochet project, there are some people who start under the first 2 hoops, and there are some people who start under the back bumps. I like to start under the back bumps because I can recognize them. Either way, I don't think it really matters unless the pattern calls for it, and this one didn't. So yeah, and I'm just knitting. I have to half double crochet for 25 rows. I ripped back like 4 rows because I did find a mistake. So yeah, but so far so good. I think I have 2, let me see, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I'm about 12 rows in, and that's just in one day. So hopefully I'll be done with my initial base so I can start some color work by tonight. Yep, and so I did start over, and I'm looking forward to if you can't tell, I am looking forward to doing this and seeing if I can get it done, because I need to get it done. But it's fun. It's fun, and yeah, and you guys, if you have a bad day, if you're having a bad time with your knitting, if your knitting kind of bites you, or just is not your friend, if you want to feel good about having mistakes occur, you should go to Instagram. Put it on Instagram, because everybody will be like, oh darn it, and bummer, and they will articulate if you can't how you feel. And sometimes if you're even curious, I see people ask for help. I've responded to people's questions on on Instagram about knitting questions or crocheting questions. So yeah, so that's what else that's going to get done. I'm excited about it. Super excited, right? Now, another thing that I've been doing, and I haven't showed you guys, is I am doing the crochet mood blanket for the year 2014. It's this crochet mood blanket thing has become a movement. There is a group on Ravelry. There is a blog. I will link to it. And there's also it's all over Instagram. People are making, it's Granny Square. No, it doesn't have to be Granny Square. It could be whatever you like. Some people are choosing to do, you assign, it's like a mood ring. Not that I'm old enough to remember mood rings. What you do is you assign colors to your moods, right? And however you feel that day, that's the color that you crochet your square, your circle, your hexagon, your stripe on your blanket. And you keep that up for a year. Or if you're like me and know that you can't do everything for a day, for a year, you do it every week. So I assign colors, and all my colors are positive, because I really want to be a positive person, and I don't want to be under a blanket that I have to remember I was angry this week, or spiteful this week, or depressed this. I want my blanket to remind me of positive things and the positive ways that I felt for the week. So I assign colors to positive feelings, and at the end of the week, or during the week, or when I feel moved during that week, I make my square. I make granny squares because I love granny squares. I love them to death. And I even make variations on granny squares. So these are my squares for the month of January and the month of February. And I joined them wrong, because this is the beginning. So, but I'm not unjoining. I'm not taking them down, because when I started, they were all going across. It was one big line, and that blanket, I wasn't happy with it. So, and I kind of wanted a dark border around my granny squares to separate the months. So this week I went back, because I couldn't do anything much, right? I went back and I just snipped off the ends, and I rejoined them in squares. Now, I do a join as you go, and I learned that method from a tutorial that I took, a class that I took on Craftsy. But there's also a couple of tutorials. There's a PDF, a really good one, on Ravelry, and also in crochet groups. They will link to the join as you go methods. A lot of people are also, they're seaming, so there are different ways of joining your squares. I'm just choosing to join as I go, because once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. So I joined all my squares for January, and then I outlined them in black yarn, and I'm using whatever yarn that I have in my stash. And then I joined all my squares for February, and I outlined them in black, and when I got to this side, I just joined it with January's. And I know that this is the last week of February, because this was my birthday week, and I felt so much love from everybody. It was just a good week. So this is my crochet mood blanket so far. I have woven in some of the ends. I haven't woven in any. I've woven in all the ends for January, not yet from February. But so I think it's going to be 3 months across. So there's going to be March right here, and then it's going to be 4 months down. Yeah, so this is my crochet mood blanket. If you guys have any further questions about the crochet move blanket, just let me know. And I got to take a picture of this and put it on Instagram because I haven't been. But so far, it's good, and I'm going to keep it. It's for me, okay? Okay, before I go, I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. Well, a couple of things. I was thinking about the positive quote, but first I want to show you a couple of things that I got for my birthday that really made me laugh, made me happy, really. So when I was at my sister's house, my niece, who is almost 7, going on 35, and my cousin, my second cousin, Deasia. My niece is named Janai. My second cousin is named Deasia. And then I have a friend who was, she's like a sister, really. And her daughter's name is Tiari. So they were the only little girls at the party. They all were, you know, they had to step in the rooms, but they came down for food and for dancing anyways. And they made me birthday presents. So I wanted to show you guys. So this is my niece making me, right? And then this is also my niece making me. See, that is you. I don't know if you can see it, but that is you. Which was, and then she also drew me and her together because she loves me. And I love her too. She's so super sweet, right? And yes, they see me as a princess, and I think that's completely healthy. I think that's totally healthy. So, my cousin, Deasia, she made me too, and she put, "This is for you, beautiful," to Nikki. So yes, right, and then this is us. You see how long my weave is? I got my weave in 2 ponytails. And then this is from Janai too, and she's learning how to spell, so she might have mixed up from. But I think to me it's amazing when they start learning and doing it. And yeah, look at us, be a Janai. I don't know which one is me. Oh, I think this one may be me because I have bangs. I can't remember. Okay, but the one that really got me was this one from Tiari, right? So this is you, Nikki, right? And she says she loves me, and I told her I love. They made me so happy. It was so much fun having them there, right? And it says they must have all got together and figured out how to spell from, Tiari, right? And notice that I'm the princess, which is, again, healthy, right? But I'm a queen. The older, I guess you don't become a queen till you're 40. So I'm still a princess. And notice that I am dark, and the prince is not colored in. That's Stu. And then he has blonde hair. So the kids are watching. They are very, very, very observant. This cracked me up to no end. It cracked everybody up in the whole party. So that was super duper duper fun. Oh, it was just good times. And while I was at the party, there was a discussion. We talk about all kind of stuff, relationships and stuff, and the discussion really got kind of sort of heated. And I had a friend, a girl who I would say is a friend. She really got angry at me, and she said that, you know, I was being righteous when I was giving a friend. It wasn't even so much as giving her advice. She asked me a question about what I had to do to, you know, move from being single and parenting to being married. And I had to tell her that I told her it was my journey. She asked me about my journey. And then she also told me the words out of her mouth, and this woman is like 35. The words out of her mouth was that she's not ready. So I am trusting that a 35-year-old woman knows herself completely, and no one knows her better than herself, right? So anyways, during the discussion, you know, to me, if you say you're not ready, if there's an inkling of not being ready for a relationship, I'm like, dude, get to know you, you know, and I had to do the work to know me. And I know me right now. Anyways, during the conversation, I can tell that a friend was getting agitated with me. And she even came out to say that, you know, I was being righteous, which it was like very funny because I wasn't being righteous. Now, there are certain things that I know that I could be righteous about. One of them is parenting. I can really be righteous about parenting, and not even about how to parent, but about what being a good parent is, you know, because in the house that I was brought up in, there were both types of parents. My mother was an excellent parent. My auntie was not. Not. So anyways, so she just, she attacked me as being righteous, and I got very mad at her, and I had to let her know that I didn't care what she thought about me, because I know myself, and I can't change my story. I couldn't, because this girl was asking me about my story. And, when I sat back and I realized why she was attacking me, it wasn't about what I was saying. It was just about my life. And this woman was really angry because, she felt entitled, and I had never seen this, you guys. She had felt entitled to a husband, and she felt entitled to having all the stuff that she perceives me to have, or that she's angry at me for having. And I had to let her know, and I let my friend know too, that being single was a lot of work with children or with the child, but being married is a lot of work too. So, to get through all of that, you have to really get to know yourself, right? So I was all pissy at my friend for attacking me and kind of attitudey for a moment. But then I just really did let her know, I don't care what you think about me. I can't change my story. I'm not changing my story. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you what you think what you think I should say to make you happy, because I'm giving her the real. So I want to just, the positive reminder and to you guys is to remember to be you, and remember to get to know you, and remember to do the work, and it will make you happy. There are a lot of things people can, if something happens, everything could go away. My house could go away, my yarn could go away, my husband could go away. Eventually, my kids will go away, and I'm going to be left with Nicole. And I have to be happy with who I am. And to do that, to be completely happy with who I am, I had to do some work, and I had to be okay with the mistakes that I made. I have to even now allow myself to make mistakes and just start all over and stuff. Like you do. You have to forgive yourself. So just do the work and become happy and get to know and love you. Yeah, that's the positive tip. So that's it for you guys. I've totally chatted a lot. Oh, I can't go without telling you guys about the best birthday present that I've gotten. And that is that I get to go to the Knitting Pipeline retreat for my birthday. So yeah, my husband, I didn't say anything about it when the signups happened. He sent in, and he was still unemployed, people. He sent in the check for the deposit. He sent in this, and it was like $65, right? So he sent in the $65, and I didn't say anything because anything could happen. I didn't know if I was going to I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I could buy the ticket. I didn't want to say anything until I got the tickets. So, in the hotel room. So, I got the tickets, and I'm flying out. I leave from here Thursday. I think it's the 13th. I'll be home on the 17th in the evening. So, I leave, I mean, not evening, like nighttime. So, I get to Peoria Thursday, like at 6:30. I'm staying at the Sleep Inn. I'm sharing a room on Thursday with Diana, who is his handmaid from the Sitting and Knitting podcast. And I've never met her before. We Skype and stuff, but I've never met her before. But she's designated herself as my, tour guide, as my buddy. She's my buddy anyway, but, just to help a sister out so I won't be so lost and wandering and by myself. But yeah, I get to go to the Knitting Pipeline retreat. I get to be Paula, and I think Steve from Dramatic Knits is going to be there, and Joanna Spring. I get to meet all these. I'm laughing like a fool. Okay. Diana asked me if I was excited, and I'm not excited yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not excited because I have so much to do prior to leaving. Next weekend, I'm going to go see my girl Lois. I haven't seen her for a couple of months, so I'm going to go down to see her, and then the week after that, it'll be time for me to go. So if you guys are going to the Knitting Pipeline retreat, and you see me, I'm short, come over and say hi. I am naturally shy, but I think all podcasters kind of are. Oh, I get to be Steven, who is S.O. Waters, and Knittables, Diane. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to meet everybody. On Friday, I'm rooming with, it's going to be me, Diana, and Brittany, who is B-Wing. So we're rooming together. But I want to hang out. I want to have fun. I'm not taking a lot of stuff that I need to be knitting on intricately because I know that when I get around knitters, I don't want to knit. I want to chat it up. But I'll probably be taking that blanket to work on too. So yeah, yay. Okay, so that's it for this podcast, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful week full of knitting, crocheting, sewing, whatever makes your heart happy. And I hope that you guys will join me next time back here in this loft, yes sir, where I'll be positively knitting. Bye.